Hello and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, where it's time for our latest Hyperia construction update. This was filmed yesterday on the 1st of December 2023, and it was a beautiful blue sky day. However, it was freezing cold, so all the construction teams were doing a great job working in the freezing temperatures to build this brand new coaster, which is set to be the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the UK, opening in 2024. And yeah, lots to talk about in this update. Starting off with this huge support structure that has started to go into place. None of this was here a week and a half ago when we was last down looking at the construction sites. And yeah, this is a huge support structure right next door to the station. And yeah, quite a few updates going on with this, as you're going to see throughout the video. But yeah, also here, there's a look at the station on the right. You've got the maintenance bay off to the left and some more sections of this support structure down there on the floor. Now, in terms of what this structure's for, you've got the two inversions that are very close to the station, and that's what we're seeing this tower of supports being built for. Yeah, them two inversions. One of those is going to come after the first drop. We kind of come down and up into it, and then also a second one later in the layout. But yeah, look at this. I mean, it's looking fantastic down there on the site now, and just seeing this rise up into the sky above the park really is very exciting. And yeah, there was a lot of excitement down there. Lots of people watching the construction today, and we wouldn't have it any other way. It's great. It really is, just seeing everybody so hyped for Hyperia. Yeah, look at the station just there as well. You can see some more paneling started to go into place, and they've also started to add some more of the detailing around on the side too. Now, like with any huge construction project, there's always going to be problems along the way. There's always going to be things to resolve. And yeah, look at this support section here. Very complex. It can actually be attached in 8 different places there, it seems. And yeah, they were struggling to get this into place earlier in the day. So they kind of lifted it up ready, and then it had to come back down. And as you'll see a little bit later in the update, they actually had to take out a few of the supports that had been put in earlier in the day to try and get this into place. So yeah, as you can see there, the structure was, you know, rising up quite well. And this very complex section that you saw on the ground just would be just on the right hand side there, very close to where you can see all the supports coming together and the end of the crane. But yeah, they do have to remove a few of them sections that you can see in place there later on to get that in place, which we believe they finally managed to do just as it was going dark tonight, which I am really pleased about. But yeah, look at that for a design, of course, from Mack Rides, seeing all them different sections and it having to connect in 8 places. Like, what a design for that. I mean, fair play to these construction teams for putting that together. I mean, look at that, very complex for it all to match up. And that's the thing, when these things are designed on a computer, it's all good, but when it comes to actually putting them together, that's where the really hard job comes in. So yeah, at this point on, I think the teams were thinking what's best to do, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. Here's a look at some other sections of track that have gone in towards the end of the layout. And yeah, you can see that little hill there, which actually has got some banking off to the left-hand side. The banking looks a lot steeper than I was expecting based on the animated POV. Look at that. As you come up into that top section, you're going to come from the left of the screen there, up into that, and bank out to the left, which is going to be great. Like, you'll get some really good forces there. Hopefully the train's still got quite a bit of speed, because it will just have come out of the splashdown element. Of course, it's going to be a fake splashdown. It's not going to be a real effect. It'll be similar to the likes of Shambhala at Portaventura, where it's a fake splashdown, but still it has got a trim brake down there, which you'll see and I'll talk about in just a moment. But yeah, that's right near the end of the layout, and that does look fantastic. Yeah, really like the look of that with the banking on it out to the left hand side. And then of course you'll make your way down into that final turn and into the brake run that we saw installed last time. But yeah, this part, they were just kind of working out what to do with this support structure. You can see they were connecting up to the left hand side there, and this is where they decided to actually take out some of those supports, as you're going to see in just a moment. Here's a look then down at the brake run. The catwalk's been finished since last time we were there. You've also got the steps that are in place there too, that you can see a lot clearer, that lead up to the station. And as we found out previously, the station's been raised up to allow, just in case there is any flooding that happens on site. But yeah, I'm glad I got the footage of the computer system last week, because all that's been blocked in there now at the side, and you can't see that. Now, Just having a little look there again at that huge section that went in first. Look at that, the big overbank turn, and you're actually outward banked towards the water on that, which is going to be brilliant. But yeah, a bit of a zoom down. You can see the straight section there, which I'm zooming in on now. That is the water splash, or at least the element that's going to look like a water splash. It'll be done more with a fountain effect. But there is a big trim brake along there. I'm hoping it doesn't lose the speed too much. Based on the animated POV, doesn't look like it will slow the train down too much. However, with it being a shorter layout, obviously it's still going to have some speed, and it can't be going too fast into them final few elements, else it's just going to cause damage and wear and tear to the wheels on the train itself. Back to the station, you can see some more finishing touches starting to go on the back there, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of theming going into place there too. Now, in this point, we were thinking, oh, you know, maybe they're just going to move that one support so they can then get this next one in. However, as you can see, they actually had to take out 3 supports that had already been installed earlier in the day to try and fit this very complex piece. And yeah, there it is again down on the ground. It connects in 8 sections, the supports going across and the ones that are raising up as well. So a very complex piece there designed by Mack Rides, and Mack do that with their coaster supports. I mean, look at Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and that's got some very complicated track sections, and especially the supports for like the Junior Immelman, for example. Very clever how that was designed, but a bit of a nightmare to actually construct. But still, at this point, they were going for it again. They lifted it up, and yeah, as you're going to see from all these different shots that I've got now, it was quite the struggle to start to move this into place, and we didn't actually get to see this finished and in place today. It was close, but yeah, it seemed like they lifted it back down. When we made our way back to the car and drove past the resort, it seemed like they were maybe just getting it into place. So hopefully they got it in before the weekend just here, because yeah, it's never great really leaving all the supports just kind of hanging there. I'd imagine it's quite a frail structure without that being on the top connecting it all together. But just want to say again, fair play to the teams that are building this, especially in the colder temperatures. They were doing a really good job, and they're always great as well, having a bit of a chat over the fence with people. And yeah, it's great. I love the atmosphere when a ride like this is under construction. But yeah, lowering it down there, as you can see, it's facing the wrong way just there now. They need to turn it, so that part that's on the left will connect with the section you can see on the right of the screen. And yeah, you can see they actually turn that round. There's a rope hanging from it as well for a construction worker to grab, and in a moment you will see the cherry pickers, the genies, come up so they can access that and spin it round into place. And even though that's a very heavy support section, they easily do manage to turn them round and get them into the position where they need to. But look at the design of that. Like, you've got them 4 supports at the bottom coming up, the support on the right it's got to connect to, the one on the left, which of course they took out prior to this, but everything that you've seen in 8 minutes so far kind of happened over the course of about 2.5–3 hours. You've got to have a lot of patience when you're watching projects like this. Of course, this could have gone in easy, and we might have seen a lot more supports go in today, but that's just how it goes with a coaster build like this. And yeah, this is the part now where the construction workers kind of turning it round just to try and get that all lined up perfectly, and also try not to cause damage to the supports and knock them too much either as they are going into place. Very complex, lots of concentration. And yeah, it was really good to kind of watch this from a distance and zoom in and see what was happening here. But yeah, at this point, it seemed like you know, it was going to go in perfectly fine. I mean, you can see it kind of lined up there, just getting it right on the right hand side, using that rope to get it lined up, and yeah, it seemed like it was going to get there, but as you'll see in just a moment, they actually lowered it back down. However, as much as we didn't stay to capture it because it was getting very dark, it does seem like they managed to get that in, or at least a few bolts in on that tonight, which is very positive to see. However, we didn't get to see that close up, but more from a distance. But yeah, it wasn't far off. I mean, you look at that, it was so close, it really was. And then it was the moment that none of us really wanted to see, and I'm sure the construction workers felt the same as well. And this is the next clip for you all just here, actually giving up and taking it away. However, it was starting to get dark, but it did seem like once we kind of thought that was it for the day, but it did go in shortly after that too. But there we go. That's all from Hyperia. This was filmed, like I say, over about 3.5, 4 hours. We had a great time watching it. The weather was cold, but it was nice and blue sky, and we had a great time with everybody down there. But stay tuned for another update next week here on Theme Park Worldwide as construction continues on Hyperia. And also, let us know your thoughts on the new Thorpe Park logo. It's in the thumbnail for this. Yeah, of course, the video is now in lowercase because, yeah, it's not caps locks for the title for Thorpe Park anymore. Love to know your thoughts on the logo down below in the video comments. But we'll see you next week for another Hyperia update. And, of course, get out there and keep on riding. Thanks for watching.